Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then just welcome. My name is Michelle, and this video I'm going to be talking about my experience at Go Wild 2024 in Dallas/Arlington, Texas. And I'm coming from a perspective as an introverted, and I want to put an emphasis on introverted, newbie. So I was relatively new to the conference. I have been aware of them since 2016, have lived vicariously through some planner YouTubers about the event and how cool it is. And this is just kind of like a mishmash of images and videos of the event. And I just wanted to kind of go through and explain my experience with it. And so the first thing was I didn't have to travel far. So you can imagine the look on everybody's faces when they ask, "Hey, where are you from?" I'm like, "Yeah, 30 minutes from here." So that was always fun. And there are people coming in from all over the world. I heard a girl coming from the UK. I talked to a girl that came from Ireland. I talked to a girl that came from Australia and California and Virginia, West Virginia, and just tons of different places. There was some people from Georgia, South Carolina, and Louisiana. These are just some of the people that I actually got to talk to. This year's event was hosted at Lowe's in Arlington, and Thursday was mostly a travel day. Like I said, for me, that's kind of funny. But it was like 89 degrees outside. It was humid as hell. We got kind of settled into the hotel, just made our way onto the 19th floor. And this hotel is huge, guys. So the footage that you're looking at right now is kind of like when me and my husband were leaving, and it was relatively empty. So I thought it would give you guys a really good idea of what it looked like in there. It was actually pretty cool. It was a nice hotel. It's pretty new. It's only been open a couple months, but there was some issues with it, just minor things, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Actually, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and discuss it now. So there were some issues with fixtures. And you could tell this hotel was made in a hurry and it was made kind of cheaply. So I'm putting that out there. But you know what? I guess if there was any major issues, you could always address it with hotel staff, as they were very, very friendly and they were very accommodating. So that was a plus. Actually, to my left on the stairs, which I didn't get to show in this video, was actually the welcome lobby. So that was one of the first places that you came through whenever you attended the conference. As you can see, there is the name wall. There's some directions to some of the, like a map of the floor. So that was helpful all in all. There was tons of different opportunities to take photos, but the first thing that we needed to do was to get checked in and kind of get settled in our room. So, although you can see my husband with me in the video, he did not attend the conference. He was just there for moral support, and I was the one that was going to be attending alone. So that detail is actually important because, like I said, I am introverted and I was attending as a newbie alone. So that was a whole experience. Um, Now you can kind of see our hotel room. I did opt for a king size bed, deluxe suite. Like I said, we were on the 19th floor. I don't know if you caught that just now, but the water bottle in that room was not free. It was not complimentary, and it was $9 if you drank it. It did not include a microwave, which, by the way, I heard you could get one for $40 a night, but no thanks. It did include a very small mini fridge, as well as a coffee maker that you could use some like K cup type things to make coffee. There was a roomy closet. It did include a couple of robes. Overall, it was pretty comfortable. There were a couple things like a phone charger that you could use, which was handy, as well as USB ports in the wall, fixtures that you could use to charge various things. So that was cool. Some of the things on the menu were kind of outrageous. There was one that was actually kind of funny. It was like if you were a smoker and you smoke in the room, they can charge you $400. So just be aware if you ever go to this hotel. The menu was kind of crazy. There was various restaurants in the hotel. Overall, it was a cool pick. I think that it was big enough to accommodate everybody. And I have heard from various other people that in the past it wasn't as roomy. So I guess that's a plus. Another bonus, as you can see, is that we had a pretty nice view. So as high as we were, I'm sure that that was to be expected. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So we got settled in our room. Here's just a brief rundown of some of the things in the hotel. If you want to pause to read it, totally okay. But yeah, I decided I was going to unpack, get ready to go, and just kind of immediately start heading downstairs where I could attend the planner fair. So I shopped around a little bit. I did attend a newbie meetup, which you guys will see a photo of here in just a second. but there was some various different booths there from various vendors. Really cool fixtures, like this huge happy planner that I thought was neat. There were so many other cool things, and I wish that I took more pictures. Oh, this was from Lights Planner Action, so it was a huge coloring wall. That was fun. I did include my little name there. But overall, it was really fun. The downside to traveling alone is that you don't always have people to take your picture. There was a ton of people that were very, very nice and offered to do it. But sometimes, if there was nobody around, I didn't have anybody to take the picture. So I ended up just taking pictures of some of the cool things that were in the conference. So, one of the things that I was actually looking forward to was finding my name on the Wild Ones wall, and I did find it. So, I am forever immortalized there, as you can see. All right, guys, sorry. So, I actually had to pause because there was a plane passing by and it was super, super loud. Okay, so some of the things that I ended up doing, like I said, was attend a newbie meetup. I did go back to the planner fair and take a few more pictures. I did actually find somebody to take my picture for the Erin Condren wall, so that was fun. And then after all that, I did head back to my room to get ready for the welcome party, which was hosted by Archer and Olive, and that was actually pretty fun. So they had some really wonderful entertainers as well as some dueling pianos, which made for a really interesting night. So my old ass decided that I needed to go to bed early because I was already getting tired. So at 8:30, I went back to my room where I was getting ready for bed when the hotel staff knocked on the door and presented us with the room drop. So thank you to Kelva Plan for actually sponsoring that. That was very, very generous. I ended up getting up the next morning, getting up early, well, what I thought was early. And I kind of remember hearing doors slamming about like 5:30, not thinking anything of it. And I'd always heard that you wanted to get up early to attend the second day sessions, but I guess I didn't get up early enough. So I ended up heading downstairs about 6:30, and there was already a massive line. So this is actually some progress in the line, if you can believe it. At one point, I was even outside. So that was kind of crazy. As big as this hotel is, it was just nuts. So you can kind of see everybody moving around at some point. But once we got into the room, you got to pick your sponsor table, and I sat down at the Altenew table. I actually ended up with some pretty cool people, so that was really awesome. We did get to see Kristen Cruz. We saw various other speakers, just various different shops, sponsored events, VJ from Notique, for example, and there was, of course, dancing. And last but not least, the big goat of the night, which was, of course, Martha Stewart. So here you can hear some of that session.
Phoenix, Arizona the other day. We'll talk about it here. Snoop is commenting in his funny way on parts of the Olympics for NBC in Paris. Paris and the equestrian events are taking place in Versailles. So we're sort of scheming to get me over for the equestrian events because I ride, I have horses. And he doesn't know anything about horses, and he's actually afraid of horses. And we want to be dressed in the most beautiful equestrian clothes, and it's taking place at Versailles, the palace of Louis XIV. And so let's hope that that happens, and you can all watch Snoop and me misbehaving at the Olympics.
So, side note, I really found Martha Stewart to be very articulate and witty and overall entertaining, so of course it was a win. Made the whole ticket worth it, in my opinion. So, we just watched some Planner Feud games, which was fun, and that was hosted by Chrissy Ann Designs. And everything was starting to get super, super exhausting. We did have some crafting moments, which I didn't expect, so that was a fun surprise. And we just kind of chilled out for a little bit. Once all the sessions ended, we kind of settled in for a while. Some people did some sightseeing, but honestly, I was so physically and emotionally drained, socially drained. I just went upstairs and took a nap. So when we came back downstairs, it was at 7 p.m. and that was for the Wild Crops, which one of them was hosted by Mark Your Pages. So Mark from Mark Your Pages. And we ended up getting a really cool surprise from Zebra, which was these exclusive mild liners that you can see here in just a second. And these were the first time that anybody was using them in the world, and we got to check them out first at Go Wild. So they were dual tipped, so they had dual colors on it, and we were all pretty excited about that. I will do a separate video on all of the swag that I received from the event, so be sure to check in for that. But here you can get kind of an idea of what the container looked like, as well as what the Mildliners did. We also had an additional crop with Bess Whiteman from Lights Planner Action, as well as Amanda Rach Lee, which unfortunately I didn't get any pictures of because I suck. But overall, it was really fun, and I have to attribute that just a quick shout out to my girl Libby, because Libby is actually somebody who surprisingly watches my videos, came up to me and asked if I was Michelle, and we ended up hanging out for the rest of Go Wild. And Libby, you are awesome. Like I said, you are a sister from another mister, and she was so cool. She made the rest of this whole conference worth it. And I will tell you why at the end of this video, because there's some personal experiences that I had, but going into day two, it made it so much easier to have a friend to be able to talk to be able to attend all these events with, and just kind of make the whole thing more fun. So again, Libby, you were awesome, and thank you so much. But getting back on track, Saturday sessions were supposed to be kind of chill. This is where you shared all of your table mate gifts. And in true Texas fashion, the weather was acting like an asshole. It was raining. Everything was really dreary. It got about 30 degrees colder by this point, and everybody just was like, oh, it's so muggy outside, it's gross. But here's a couple pictures of that. We did attend the second day of sessions, and we had some really awesome speakers. There were a couple of crafting type of things going on with Simply Gilded. Fun fact, I stabbed myself with something in the Simply Gilded package, which was a washi cutter. Honestly, I feel like there should have been a warning on it. But you know what? I attributed that to myself being pretty hasty and impatient and opening things that I probably should have waited on. So whatever. So sorry, trigger warning, there is a little bit of blood here. But I went to the bathroom, washed off everything, and turned lemons into lemonade by taking a really fun picture. So shout out to my photographer. She knows who she is. And that was most of the day. So we ended up going to Plan Jamma that night and having a blast. It was a sponsored event, open bar, tons of food, tons of drinks. We had several different drinks that were just kind of cool. They had cute names like uh, Wild Night or something like that, Kiss My Disc. They were really fun drinks, and I would say that some of them were really, really good, but there was a couple that was kind of nasty. I will say that Kiss My Disc was probably my least favorite. It's very sour, and I'm somebody who likes sour drinks, so that was kind of weird. Shout out to the Happy Planner for hosting the event, and Texas Live for trying to keep all the llamas kind of herded in one place. So that was fun. It was actually a lot of fun. I don't really drink a lot. I drink socially, and I will say that I had 5 drinks and I didn't even catch a buzz. So I don't know what was going on with that, but either my tolerance is high or something. I'm not really sure. There was a lot of dancing, of course. There was DJ Unshakable, who was actually sticking to this millennial playlist that I absolutely loved because, of course, I'm a millennial, and all of these songs brought back so many good memories. We were having a blast, getting some drinks, having some really awesome food, and yeah, you can see some of the people dancing in a video here in just a moment, but it was really fun to see. All I know is some of y'all had a little bit too much to drink, and if you ever come across this video and that was you, you know what? Cool. You're living your best life, I guess. But overall, I thought that was really fun. There was some actual performers there, so they were very colorful, very pretty, added a lot of elements to the room into an already fun experience. So shout out to Happy Planner for that. I actually missed the part where they showed the Go Wild official video, so I'm going to be looking for that on YouTube in the near future. But I ended up retiring a little early, like 30 minutes before the party ended, and realized, you know what, I'm going to have to take off these bracelets and my lanyard, and that's going to be it for Go Wild. And honestly, it made me a little sad because even though I didn't have a lot of expectations for this trip, and I will be honest, the first couple, maybe like the first day and a half, I wasn't having the best time as a person attending solo. towards the end of it, it was actually really fun and it made up for the whole first part of it. And I was a little sad to see it end. So we woke up to a really cool skyline. We woke up to a beautiful view on the final day on Sunday. And when everybody's making their departures, my husband took this picture, so he gets the credit. And as we're walking out of the hotel, you can kind of see them taking down the signs, and it was a little sad. So I didn't think that it would affect me that much. So here's just my final takeaway from this event. Do with this information what you will, but please understand that this is my personal opinion. This is my personal experience. If you agree with it, great. If you don't, I don't really care. Kick rocks. I mean, take that somewhere else. And that's okay. You know, we can have differences of opinion. So I also want to say that these drawings from here on out are from the cartoon slash doodler company. I unfortunately did not find their information, so if you guys happen to have that information, I would love to credit them in the comment section down below, so let me know. I did include the little drawings that they made for the event, so I hope that you enjoy them if you were not able to attend. But overall, it is definitely a event that is more for connecting with people. If you go into this event thinking that you're going to get a ton of swag and that is the main point for being there, it is a bonus, but it is not the main point. The first part of this event, I was not having the best time. It was a little isolating, it was a little lonely, and people were really, really nice, and people were really helpful, and they were very friendly. I only had maybe one instance where there was somebody that could be kind of misconstrued as rude, but it was kind of lonely, to be honest. If you don't have a group of friends to attend with or somebody to go with you, it can be. So I do also want to say there are very well established cliques in this group, and I'm not sorry for saying that. Like I said, you can disagree with that if you want, but it is what it is. And you can tell. So even though some people are very nice, they might not be as welcoming or may not make as much effort to include you in some of those groups. Now, I just say that because while that is the case with some people, it's not the case with everybody. There were a ton of people that were very welcoming and they were very, very cool and awesome to hang with and talk with. I made a ton of really cool ladies on this trip, and one gentleman that was pretty cool as well. It's really hard though if you attend by yourself, if you attend as a newbie and you happen to be an introvert, because making some of those social changes to your daily routine can be pretty hard. It can be pretty exhausting, if I'm being honest. And one of the things that the main planner specified in the newbie meetup was that nobody tells you how socially draining it can be. And if you're putting all of that effort into trying to fit in and trying to find friends, it is very draining. I will say, like, again, shout out to Libby being my diehard friend there because I don't know what I would have done without her. I don't know if this conference would have been as fun if I didn't have that one person to be able to share some of this information with, some of this stuff to nerd out over. So I appreciate her more than she knows. But I know that some people happen to have that. And if you do, you're so lucky because that makes the trip. If you're a type of person that doesn't really care if you hang out with people or not, then great, you can have fun on your own. But I felt like for me, that was something that made or broke this trip. And would I do it again? Yes. Also, if Libby attends, definitely. But it is like meeting these new people that can actually nerd out with you and in this very niche type of interest. It's really fun. It's totally worth the money. And I'll be honest, I spent like probably like $2,500 overall. And I can do a breakdown of that later on if you guys want. But overall, I would attend Go Wild again. But keep in mind, and my suggestion for anybody who is looking to attend in the future, don't go for the swag because you can be disappointed in that area. Go for the people, go for the connections that you make and have the possibility of making. Go for the ability to hang out and nerd out with other people that are interested in the same crap that you are. And I hope that you guys do attend. And if you do attend and I happen to be at the next one, make sure that you say hi, because I will definitely let you sit with me, okay? So I want to specify that, and I hope to see you guys in the future. All right, guys, so I think that's going to conclude this video. If you have any questions or comments outside of that, or just Go Wild related in general, let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and would love to do so, please click that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you are notified when I do post something to this channel. I do have my socials listed below. Now, if you will excuse me, I'm going to go follow every single person that gave me a contact card, and I am going to go through all of my swag for a future video. So be on the lookout for that. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Later.